Welcome to News at Night for Monday, February the 8th. I'm Colette Linden.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We are done with the snow, but we have some very cold temperatures to deal with. I'll give you all those details coming up.
Premier Doug Ford made an announcement today with regards to next steps to reopen the province.
Well, good afternoon. Today we're seeing some sunlight break through the clouds. Daily case numbers are down. Transmission rates are down. Less people are being hospitalized. My friends, the measures are working. Staying home is saving lives. And I want to thank Team Ontario, every single person, for doing your part, for following the public health measures. Together, we are bending the curve. We're protecting our hospitals, and we're looking out for our most vulnerable. We issued the stay-at-home order. We launched several workplace inspection blitz, including a safety blitz at all big box stores. We've accelerated vaccinations for our most vulnerable seniors. We delivered a 6-point plan to help stop the spread of variants through the province. We brought in mandatory testing at Pearson Airport, which was critical and well overdue. And all of the enhanced federal border measures, including new quarantine requirements, will be in place very soon. We're allowing students to safely return to classrooms where they belong. And most importantly, we undertook a review of the COVID-19 response framework. My friends, we can't return to normal, not yet, not while our hospitals could still be overwhelmed. But we can transition out of the province-wide shutdown. Today I'm announcing the declaration of emergency will not be extended past February 9th. We're maintaining shutdown measures in the majority of the public health regions in Ontario for a short time. But we will look to gradually and safely transition all regions to a revised and stronger COVID-19 response framework.
Today, provincial health officials logged 1,265 infections of coronavirus and 33 more deaths linked to the disease. The province recorded 1,489 cases on Sunday and 1,388 on Saturday, after 1,670 infections were logged on Friday. The province's 7-day average for number of cases recorded is now 1,327, which is down from 1,888 1 week ago. There were 28,000 COVID-19 tests completed in Ontario in the last recorded 24-hour period, which falls well below provincial capacity of 70,000 daily swabs. The test positivity rate now stands at about 4.4%. The Algoma Public Health reported 9 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 over the weekend. The Algoma region now sits at 28 confirmed cases with 2 patients hospitalized. As of Sunday, February the 7th, Ontario is reporting 1,489 cases of COVID-19 with 22 deaths from the virus. The provincial government says that 51,658 tests have been completed since the last daily update. The province also said that 926 people are hospitalized with the virus, with 335 people in intensive care and 233 of those patients on a ventilator. Health Minister Christine Elliott says there are 517 new cases in Toronto, 261 in the Peel region, and 121 in York region. The province announced today it would expand emergency childcare to more frontline workers. The government prepares to unveil plans for gradually reopening Ontario's economy. The free childcare now available to healthcare, education, and postal workers will be extended to some construction workers and transit workers in Toronto, York, and Peel beginning this Tuesday. On Sunday, February the 7th, Stephen Lecce, Minister of Education, announced further details to those frontline workers who require childcare services. Beginning on Tuesday, emergency childcare will be extended to additional frontline workers in Toronto, York, and Peel. This will include construction workers working on essential projects that have been permitted to continue during the provincial shutdown and transit workers who are unable to work remotely. While students in many parts of the province are returning or have returned to in-person learning, students in Toronto, York, and Peel will be returning to class 1 week later on February the 16th. During this period of remote learning, our government is supporting the key workers by ensuring their children are well cared for. This past week, based on the advice of the Chief Medical Officer of Health, they gave parents certainty around the plan to return to in-person learning for students across the province. For working families around the province, this means that they will be able to return to work, knowing their child's learning and development is continuing in classrooms safely, with new measures in place to protect students and staff. A COVID-19 outbreak has been declared at Health Sciences North in Sudbury after a hospital employee and patient tested positive for the virus. The hospital says the outbreak is on hallways J and K on the 6th floor of the South Tower of the Ramsey Lake Health Centre. The province defines a COVID-19 outbreak in a hospital as 2 or more lab-confirmed cases involving patients or staff where both cases could have reasonably acquired their infection in the hospital. Public Health Sudbury and districts say the outbreak is contained, adding there is no evidence of ongoing transmission. The hospital remains open and clinics and procedures are continuing as scheduled, but access to the affected unit is restricted. Tuesday afternoon, Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced a new $30 million Michigan Reconnect program that gives Wheaton and other Michigan residents 25 and older currently without a degree an opportunity to earn a tuition, free associate's degree or skills certificate at a community college. The program, which has bipartisan support, also offers a skills scholarship to help cover the cost of tuition through more than 70 private training schools with 120 programs that offer certificates in high-demand careers in industries such as manufacturing, construction, information technology, healthcare, or business management. To be eligible for Michigan Connect, you must be 25 years and older, be a Michigan resident for at least 1 year, have high school diploma, and not yet completed a college degree. Those interested can submit applications at michigan.gov/reconnect.
At the top of the show, I said we were done with the snow. Well, we are done with the snow here in the city. Areas to the north between Batchewana and Wawa, they're back in a snow squall warning. We'll touch on that and then put another log on the fire all week long. It's going to be a cold one. We'll talk about that too. That's all coming up.
Do your part to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Cough into your elbow, not into your hand or in the air. Avoid touching your face, eyes, and mouth. Keep your distance from people. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. If you're feeling sick, please just stay home. Do the 5 and keep others alive. Help stop the spread of COVID-19.
Drop by one of our 3 Sault Ste. Marie locations. You do life, we do taxes.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we definitely have some cold temperatures to tell you about. This is what we're looking like tonight. Minus 19, that's our evening temperature. Could feel like minus 27 in the morning when you wake up. And it is a risk of frostbite if you aren't protected. So watch out for that. The entire country is pretty much under the grips of this extreme cold. All this red here is extreme cold conditions, except for, of course, north of the Sault into the Wawa area where they're under a snow squall warning for tonight. But basically, we're talking major cold temperatures, the coldest air of the year. So let's take a look now at the radar, and we'll show you where those snow squalls are. This is basically just north of Batchewana, south of Wawa. In this line here, seeing extensive snow tonight, another 10 to 15 centimeters. By the time all this ends up later on tonight, they could be looking anywhere from 80 to 100 centimeters since last Thursday from snow squalls. So they're definitely getting hit. This is the satellite of North America, and you can see this is all cold air here. No major systems to worry about. And if there are systems, they have to travel under this cold air, which is a high pressure system. So this system here has to travel underneath it. We'll show you that in just a bit. This is the overnight temperatures for tonight, minus 31. Thunder Bay is under the extreme cold right now. Add in the wind chill, closer to minus 45, minus 20 in Wawa, minus 19 here in the Sault, minus 24 in Timmins. So as far as the rest of the week goes, this is what we look like temperature-wise. I know it's kind of hard to see from home, but these magenta colors, these deep blues and deep purples, that's the very extremely cold air. And you can see they're getting very close here to the Sault. This is for midweek, where we could right now see minus 31 by Friday during the overnight. So it's definitely a winter grip, very cold grip for the next 14 days. This is a system I'm telling you about for Saturday into Sunday. Right now, again, it has to travel underneath this high pressure system. We're right on the border of seeing some light to moderate snow. Anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters could be the call, but right now I think this low is basically going to miss us. We'll keep an eye on that for you over the next couple of days. And so this is your forecast for the next 3 days. Sun and cloud for most of this week. Temperatures, though, getting colder and colder as the week progresses. Our daytime high, for instance, on Thursday, just minus 14. If we look at the 7-day forecast, much the same. We're just seeing some clouds, some mix of sun and cloud. We could see periods of sun quite a lot during the next couple of days, but there are going to be some clouds because they do form over the lake. But temperatures, again, holding steady, very well below seasonal for this time of year. And that's the way it's going to last right till about the end of the month, and then we see a warming trend develop. That is your weather right now. Guess what? Jacob and Colette are standing by with all your sports right after this.
As night falls, 37 million Canadians turn out their lights and settle down for the night. But as we sleep, there's something interesting going on. House hippos have returned to Canadian homes, but they're extremely hard to spot. They enjoy admiring their reflections, hoarding socks, helping themselves to your devices, and annoying your pets. It looks like Canada has a house hippo problem.
Or do we? We brought back the house hippo to show how easy it is to be fooled in our digital world. Find out how to tell what's real and what's not at breakthefake.ca.
Good evening. Welcome to the sports section with Jacob and Colette. We were both terribly wrong in yesterday's game.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I did say Tampa Bay to you yesterday, though.
You did.
I did, but I said by 3, and clearly no.
31-9.
Well, I picked the 3. Just didn't know it would be 31.
And I mean, the Chiefs did get a lot of field goals.
It was. What did you think of the game?
It really surprised me. I was expecting the Chiefs and the Bucks to be really neck and neck, and that wasn't the case. I think a big problem for the Chiefs were the penalties. Mm-hmm. Penalties seemed very one-sided, but I'm not going to go too much into that. But the Chiefs took 120 yards worth of penalties.
Really? Was that?
And 11 calls. That's 120 free yards. Like, here you go.
That is pretty bad. And they were on home turf.
They were on home turf. Tom Brady looked like vintage Tom Brady.
He played well.
Going 21 for 29, 201 yards and 3 touchdowns, as you'll see on the graphic on your screen. Mm-hmm. Where Mahomes, I can't say he played bad, but he didn't play like an all-star like he normally does.
My take on Mahomes was it looked like, especially in the third quarter, he did not give up.
No.
You know, he was giving it everything that he had. And there was one toss, and I don't know if we'd be able to show it or not, but there was one toss, he was pretty much horizontal to the ground, about to land, and chucks this beautiful Hail Mary, and they almost scored on it.
It was nuts.
It was awesome. He was awesome. But I don't know. I just kind of see his I won't say rookie status, but he just seemed like he wasn't quite up to...
He was also injured. Let's remember that. He does need to have
excuses. You hate Brady, and you're like your homie Mahomes.
He does need toe surgery. Like, you got to remember that. I think that's why he wasn't as mobile as he normally would be. Being sacked 3 times, which is odd for Mahomes.
That's not just on him.
No, that's not at all. As we were saying off camera, the offensive line for the Chiefs they weren't there, unfortunately.
No, not at all. So what did you think of Canadians' weekend for the halftime show?
Oh, I loved it.
I thought it was awesome too.
Awesome to see a Canadian artist taking the stage and owning the stage. Like, I mean, it was a very, very exciting halftime show.
Yeah, it was. And I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know if you noticed, he was red and white.
Yep.
He had the Canadian, he had all the fireworks in red and white, all the lights were red and white. I picked up on that weekend, way to represent Canada.
And something my mom picked up on actually, which is really cool. You noticed how during the dancing they were all wearing the face coverings?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet it's because they were wearing some sort of mask underneath?
No, yeah, that's what I
Prevention
said, they're
from COVID.
COVID friendly.
Which was awesome.
It was really cool how they ended that, eh? It was awesome to have covered the whole field. We had a great time watching that.
We did.
Any other comments on the Super Bowl before we move on to the blue and white team?
Before we move on to that, I want to talk about Gronk Gronkowski.
Okay.
Nobody was sure what he was going to do this year as he just came out of retirement. This guy was on fire that game, averaging 11.5 yards per catch, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. It just looked like old school Brady and Gronk back at it again.
Yeah, they were good together.
As much as I hate seeing it, I'm a Bills fan, okay? So the Patriots put me through a lot of grief.
As am I, but you do not like Tom Brady.
I do not.
That's okay. You can share it. You can share it. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a great dynamic duo for
It really was.
Yeah.
And that was a big step for the Buccaneers. They were just able to get that offensive going where the Chiefs just weren't.
Absolutely. Okay, I just have to say, watched the Leaf game a little bit on Saturday night. Didn't watch the full thing. I will admit that. But don't you find? I know, terrible, and I believe blue and white. I'm sorry, Leafs. But don't you find they're not panicking in their own zone? They're making smart passes to move the puck up the ice.
They really
That's
are.
a new Leaf. Like, as a Leaf fan, that is a big.
That
and
is
the
huge.
defense is much better. Those are two issues that I always had a problem with the Leafs, like panicking and dumping the puck all the time and just shooting it down without hesitating. You know what I mean?
I think a big thing for that was 2 big moves they made in TJ Brody and Zach Bogosian. Those are 2 very strong puck-moving defensemen. They've both had playoff success. Bogosian won a Stanley Cup last year, and you are seeing the big improvement in the defense. It's a night and day difference from last year to this year.
Not to mention Mr. 34.
Yeah.
He is playing sensational, Austin Matthews.
Like, he has just been like Matthews. He's on a career best 7 consecutive goal game streak currently. Like, as you'll see on the graphic, he already has 10 goals. It's just unreal what this guy is doing.
What he's going to be able to do in this short season is going to be spectacular for sure. Now let's talk a little bit about Wayne Simmons. He, we just found out, snapped his wrist. So he is definitely out for 6 weeks, which sucks.
That really hurts the Leafs. Wayne Simmons has been playing really well lately. Just recently moved up to the second line. Already has 5 goals this year. And he's had a couple fights. He's been hitting. He's really brought in a rough and tough sandpaper feel, which, let's be honest, the Leafs have been missing that the past few seasons.
Since Darcy Tucker.
Realistically, yeah. I mean,
Just saying.
It's a huge loss for Toronto because we don't really have another player who plays like Wayne Simmons. I think you're going to see VC probably move back up to that slot quite a bit as he played on that line early in the season and did have some success.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see.
Well, just on TSN, just before the show started, we were talking about how they're going to move to a 11-man forward, just shuffle the rotation, try out new lines. So we'll see what happens there. You know?
And a great chance for Rasmus Sandin to get in there, which he hasn't got to play all season yet.
Yeah.
Very good young puck-moving defenseman. So let's hope he gets some ice time and see what he can do.
Well, we've already edged Vancouver twice, so this is a good game to put him in and see what he can do for sure.
I think so, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, are we going to the Sens or are we going to the Battle of Alberta?
Let's quickly touch on the Sens.
Okay, fine.
You know what? You
I
just sit over there and sulk like I did about Brady. The Ottawa Senators, they split their 2 games against the Habs, which frankly I was shocked.
Yeah.
They looked very good in both games. Matt Murray played extremely well. They just looked awesome out there.
Yeah.
And Montreal's trying, unlike Vancouver.
Oh, they're terrible.
Like,
as I said, are the Leafs that good or are the Canucks that bad? I'm like, maybe it's a bit of both.
But what I love to see from Ottawa is that team puts in so much effort and they got the goaltending they needed the past 2 games. I think Ottawa might start to rack up some wins.
Okay, let's talk Johnny Hockey and Connor McDavid.
Well, the Battle of Alberta. As we all know, the Battle of Alberta is usually insane. Last year we had bench clearing brawls, goalie fights, some of the best hockey I had seen since, well, maybe a little bit before my time, but the early 90s, going back and watching highlights. Not to that same extent, but a very high-scoring game, 6-4 for the Flames.
Crazy. That's a very high-scoring game for hockey, for sure.
Which was surprising to see Markstrom allowing that many goals in the net for the Flames. He's been rock solid this year. I'm not saying the goals were his fault, but it's interesting to see him looking beatable.
Did they play at the Saddledome? They were in Calgary for
Yes.
that game, yeah. All right. Well, maybe they had to step up their game.
I think they do.
Okay, where else are we going? Who else we got? Raptors.
We'll quickly touch base on the Raptors as we're running out of time here. But the Raptors play the Grizzlies tonight, looking to bounce back after a tough loss against the Hawks. OG Anunoby is still out with a calf injury, which that really hurts the team. But I still like the way the bench is stepping up. So I still think the Raptors can win this game.
Okay, well, go Raptors, go Raptors, go. We the North. Okay, let's talk about naming the show. All yours, Jacob.
So as you know, we've been asking people to name the show. We've had quite a few ideas. We've picked a name today.
We have.
Can I get a drum roll?
Ding!
705 Sports.
Right here with you every day on
Right
5
here,
o'clock
every
news.
day, Monday to Friday during your 5 p.m. evening news. But speaking of evening news.
Oh, yeah, right. Should get back to that, shouldn't I?
I think you got some more news for us. But hang tight. We'll be right back with news after this commercial break.
Loss is something that never leaves you. Donate $45 today to help victims of impaired driving. A message from MAD Canada.
As the OHL eagerly awaits a confirmed start date, junior age players from the various teams are, in the meantime, getting opportunities to play professional. One such prospect is Nick Porco, a 19-year-old left winger from Sault Ste. Marie, who is a member of the OHL's Barrie Colts and a National Hockey League draft pick of the Dallas Stars. The 6'1", 180-pound Porco is currently on the roster of the Texas Stars of the American Hockey League. Porco, born in 2001, is the second youngest player on the training camp roster of the Texas AHL team as it readies for the slated start of the Minor Pro League's regular season, which begins this weekend. Porco is one of 14 forwards on the Texas roster and is in Texas on an amateur tryout contract. A fifth-round pick by Dallas at the 2019 draft, Porco has played 3 seasons in the O after being a first-round choice of the Saginaw Spirit at the 2017 Priority Selections draft. Porco was traded at his request by Saginaw to Barrie midway through the 2019-2020 season. While overcoming a major injury as well as an illness and a death in his family, Porco managed 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points in 50 OHL games last season. According to Joe McDonald, director of amateur scouting for the Stars and the person responsible for picking Porco, he said that he's a great opportunity ahead of him to be in a pro environment with the AHL team in Texas. Sioux Online received reports of a multi-vehicle collision at the bottom of the Mile Hill on Highway 17 North Friday afternoon. The accident resulted in major damage to 2 of the 3 vehicles involved. Photos were submitted by a viewer and they show the result of the collision involving a transport truck and a passenger vehicle. One of the vehicles ended up in the ditch. However, we have not received any word on injuries. Sioux Online will post updates as they become available. In a report coming to Council tonight, it is apparent that the city doesn't want to address the concerns of those who have signed the petition to those who want out of Sault Ste. Marie. The petition, not even officially presented to either Sault Ste. Marie nor Prince Township as of yet, has apparently already cost taxpayers money. There is a report before Council Monday addressing it, where these reports cost time and manpower to write. More concerning is it appears what members of the city want, as shown by the petition, doesn't appear to matter to the mayor. For multiple reasons listed, many of the residents of what is now a part of Ward 5 simply want out. It appears as though they may attempt to swipe it under the rug, unwilling to address any concerns the citizens may have. The report notes the multiple services the city provides to Prince Township. It says if this was to go forward, those agreements would have to be renegotiated if the boundaries were changed. Please refer to the full story posted to SiouxOnline.com. A farm on Old Garden River Road roams a beautiful horse named Black Pearl. Since 2013, she has been the grateful recipient of treats usually provided by passers-by and locals alike. Unfortunately, the gratuities must come to an end in the interest of her health. Black Pearl has developed a significant issue with her insulin, now affecting her hooves and ability to stand. Owner Paula Antunes posted on Facebook last weekend asking people to please stop feeding the horse. She's putting up a sign and tried other things, but nothing seems to be working. A local individual has made some orthotics, but with Pearl being 20 years old, the healing process is slow. Sault OPP, along with the assistance of the Batchewana Volunteer Fire Department and an Ontario Provincial Police Technical Traffic Collision Investigator, responded to the scene of a fatal motor vehicle collision on Highway 17 North near Batchewana Bay involving a tractor-trailer and a motor vehicle on the 6th of February. Highway 17 was closed for 10 hours. The investigation of the collision revealed that there were 5 motor vehicles involved, including 2 passenger vehicles and 3 tractor-trailers. At the time of the collision, visibility was poor. The driver of one motor vehicle was pronounced deceased at the scene. The driver was identified as 42-year-old Kathleen Willison of Batchewana Bay, Ontario. No other injuries were reported, and OPP TTCI is continuing with the investigation. Well, Craig, you were right about the Thursday snowfall into Friday, so thanks for that. And the city put out an alert saying that there's a weather alert coming out. I think there might be another one. Tell me.
Well, I mean, right now, most of the province, well, Northern Ontario is under the extreme cold warning. We aren't there yet, but we could be placed in that, say, midweek this week as temperatures continue to drop quite a lot. So we'll keep an eye on that for you.
Well, thanks for that, Craig.
No problem.
Have a great day. For Craig and Colette, thank you for watching News at Night.